English classroom. I'm your English teacher, Sheikh Rafi. Dear students, in this video, I'm going to start be reading from the very first unit of your textbook. If you remember, in my previous video, I discussed the A reading, the town mouse and the country mouse, and this video is a continuation of that, whereby we are going to look at B reading, which is a poem. In fact, it is a set of poems. There are two poems in this B reading. The first one is the town child and the second one is the country child. Both have been composed by Irene Thompson. So let us start it. Students, while going through A reading, we understood the difference between a city life and the life in countryside. Here also we have yet another set of poems which tries to bring out the same difference, the difference between a city life and a countryside. So here also we have two characters, a child who lives, one child who lives in a town and another child who lives in a countryside. Now what they think about the place where they live and what they wish is the content of this poem. So let us see the first poem, The Town Child by Irene Thompson. So I want all of you to look at page number 16. The Town Child. I live in the town in a street. It is covered with traffic and feet. There are buses and motors and trams. I wish there were meadows and lambs. So in the very first stanza, there is a boy who describes the place where he lives. And he says, I live in the town in a street. I live in a town in a street. And how is the street? It is crowded with traffic and feet. It is crowded with traffic. There are lots and lots of vehicles going around his street. Buses, cars, bikes, motors. So we can understand that it is a highly noisy and highly polluted place where this boy is living. It says it is crowded with traffic and feet. When we say traffic, it refers to vehicles. When we say feet, it refers to people. There are a lot of people walking here and there, coming and going here and there. It is fully crowded place where he lives. And what is his wish? I wish there were meadows and lambs. I wish there were meadows and lambs. Now what does meadows means? Meadows means open grasslands. You know, children, when you go out of city, what do you see? You will see lots and lots of vast open lands, totally covered with green grass. They are called meadows. So the little boy says there are buses and motors and trams. All these create a lot of traffic. And what he is wishing for? I wish there were meadows and lambs. Now what are lambs? Baby sheep. Baby sheep. They are called lambs. So you can see there in the picture, they have given under the tree, there are lots of lambs there. So that is what the boy wishing for. See the next stanza. The houses all wait in a row. There is smoke everywhere that I go. I don't like the noise I hear. I wish there were woods very near. Now in the second stanza, the boy describes how he feels. He says that the houses all wait in a row. When you go to a town, when you go to a city, you will find houses in rows, all waiting for the people to come, And he says there is smoke everywhere that I go. Why there is smoke? There is the crowd of traffic. There are lots and lots of buses, cars, trucks, vehicles, etc., which are coming and going on the roads, which create lots and lots of smoke. As well as there are number of factories. So all these things cause lot of smoke. So the boy is troubled by the pollution, and he says, I don't like the noise I hear. So it also creates a lot of noise. So he doesn't like the noises also. And what is he wishing for? He says, I wish there were woods very near. There were woods. What does woods means? Woods refers to forests. Wood refers to forest, lots and lots of tree. So the boy is wishing for forest, lots and lots of tree nearby, so that he can have a good environment, clean environment, peaceful environment. Okay, so let us see the last paragraph given here. There is only one thing that I love, and that is the sky far above. The boy says, in this city, he loves only one thing. And what is that one thing he loves? That is the sky which is far above. Which is far above. Now, why does he likes the sky? Let us see. He says, there is plenty of room in the blue for the castles of clouds and me too. So the boy says, there is plenty of place, plenty of room. Room means place or space, and he can see lots and lots of clouds, lots and lots of clouds there. So he calls castles of clouds. Castles means large buildings where kings or queens live. It is called castles. So the boy says there is plenty of room. Plenty means lot. Plenty means lot of room. Room means space, lot of space in the blue. Blue refers to the sky. Blue refers to the sky. So there is plenty of room in the blue for castles of clouds and me too. So there is lots and lot of place in the sky for the clouds as well as for me. So that is the observation of the boy. The boy is troubled with the city life. The boy is longing. The boy is wishing for a country life. Okay, children, now let us see the second part of the poem. The second poem, the title of the poem is The Country Child. It refers to the child who lives in a country. Country means village or out of the city or a rural area. So let us see what is the feeling of this child. See page number 17. The Country Child. My home is a house near a wood. I would live in a street if I could. So what is the boy says? The boy says, my home is my house near a wood. Near a wood means his house is nearby a forest. Nearby a forest. And he says, I would live in a street if I could. So he is willing, he is longing, he is wishing to live in a street, not nearby woods. What he says? The lanes are so quiet. Oh dear, I do wish that someone lived near. He says the lanes refers to the roads or the streets. How are the streets? They are very quiet. There is no noise at all. So he says, oh dear, I do wish that someone lived near. So does it mean that nobody lives in the village? No, people live in village, but there are very few people. There are very few people. That is why there is no noise. It is always quiet. So this boy, that boy who lives in country, what is he wishing for? He is wishing to live in a city, and he says he wish that someone lived near. See the next para. There is no one to play with at all. And that's a big problem for children. They should always have the company of others to play. Now what is this boy telling? He says, there is no one to play with at all. The trees are so high and so tall. He says there is no one to play. And how is the situation? He says, the trees are so high and so tall that he cannot even play with trees or play on the trees. See the continuation of it. And I should be lonely for hours, were it not for the birds and the flowers. So he says, most of the time I have to be lonely, alone. Just because of the flowers and birds, he is getting little bit company. So there is no one who can play with him. So again you have to think, when he says there is no one, it doesn't mean that there is no one who lives in the village. People are there, children are there, but they are very less in number. There are very few people in number. So the boy says he doesn't find anyone to play along, and he finds the trees are also very tall. He cannot go and enjoy or play with the trees. And he also says that it is only for the birds and flowers that he is there. Otherwise, there would be nothing in the country. See the last part. I wish that I lived in a town to see all the trams going down. So the boy is wishing to live in towns to see all the trams going down. Now what is a tram? A tram is just like a bus. It is an electric bus that runs on a track. It's like a single train coach. Right? You just look at the image, you will understand. Now that is a tram. So the boy says, I wish that I lived in a town to see all the trams going down. A twinkling street that is bright with wonderful colors at night. So the boy is wishing to look at twinkling street. Now what is twinkling street? When you go in a town or a city at night, what do you see? All the streets are lighted up. There are lights everywhere. All the shops, the shopping complexes, etc. are decorated with beautiful, colorful lights. So they keep on twinkling, shining whole night. So that looks very beautiful. So the boy wants to see all those things. He says, a twinkling streak that is bright with wonderful colors at night. So even in the mid of the night in cities we can see all the lights going up. So in this way the poem comes to an end and we understand the feelings of the child who lives in a country. So the author gives here two pictures, the town child and the country child. Both they want to live the opposite life. The country child wants to enjoy the life of a town, whereas the town child wants to enjoy the life of a village or a country. Both have their own advantages as well as disadvantages. So with that we end the poem. That was all about the town child and the country child. The poet Irene Thompson tried to bring out the difference between a city life and a country life. Children, I hope all of you understood the poem and enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.